Welcome to the Major Truck Resurrection series on the Quest for Details channel. My whole life, my dad has rebuilt trucks from the ground up, rescued from being out at pasture, basically. That's why we called it Major Truck Resurrection. Our last name is Major, and literally the goal is to find a truck for several $100s at max, as little as possible, something that people have given up on, think is totally lost. And I have watched him so many times in my life go out and take a truck that has blackberries growing through it and barbed wire stacked against it, and they've just been tilling the field around it for 30 years, and within a year or two it's off and rolling down the road again. And so our yard has always just been full of every type of piece of old 40s Chevys trucks, Internationals, whatever was in the works in the project at the time. So currently there is a 40s truck, flatbed Chevy, being restored, and this is the first look at what he's been up to lately. And yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Well, now we've jumped ahead in time, and he's putting trim on it already. He's a door builder as well as a truck builder. Well, how many months along are we at this point? It's been
6 months.
6 months. Complete tear down to this point.
It's all brand new out to there, and then I got hung up because I couldn't find my ream for my kingpins. I got the new bushings in, so I'm waiting for the postman to drop off my new ream so I can ream my new kingpins in, and then all the brakes are done. They're just sitting there waiting to go back in.
And it got dusty again sitting here, but it's shiny black, so it went from well, where you saw it to where it is now. And I don't know half the things that are done to it, but it's got shiny little things everywhere. The springs were off of it last time I was here, and none of this was on there, and it was out there, and whoa, steering wheel. And
I've got the drive shaft sorted out, and new brakes, and new brake lines, and new bushings all the way through, and new pins all the way through. It'll basically be a brand new 1948 one-ton. Except I think I'm keeping it a 3/4 ton.
A 3/4 ton pickup?
Yeah, well, flatbed. It's got a little 8-foot flatbed that goes on it.
Okay.
When I get around to rebuilding it.
I don't think I've ever showed them around the shop. He's a boat builder too. And yeah, there's some of the 10,000 fishing poles. I don't know if you guys can make that out.
Those are spares. Just in case. I got an extra 100 people that want to go fishing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Use that horse to put the engine in my gray truck. So that thing holds up engines.
Not just once, but 3 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a rebuilt or a used engine, put it in there. Had to pull out the first blown up one, put the rebuilt in there.
283 I'm rebuilding to put in there. Got the bearings and everything all done. I just got to give it a final wash down, get the pan and stuff on. Keep most of the dust out of it.
Getting fancier and fancier. Didn't have that when we were doing my engine.
No, Barry actually found that and brought it out.
Cool.
That's what I used to pick the frame up and flip it around when I was working on it and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Because this is a nice one. It's a 2-ton engine hoist, so makes it all worthwhile. I'm hoping I can use it to lift the body off the fence line up there. That's the body I'm going to put on it eventually.
So that's the befores. Yeah, didn't make it back to show you guys the garden this year. 2020. That's how they start. I mean, that's what we're standing next to here is a spare head of Optimus Prime, the round version. Oh, more spare parts. You gotta straighten it out a little bit.
I'll get the headlights pointing the right way and all that. That's the body that was on it, but it's all twisted because it was in a couple of wrecks.
Oh.
Doors don't fit or anything anymore, and that body up there is actually nice and straight. They both came from the same place, but that was off a 5-ton that they put so much weight on they broke the frame in two, so
Yeah.
I salvaged the body and stuff because it was in good shape. It's going to come in handy now.
Yep.
Turns the fun.
Yeah, there's rear ends. This is how I grew up. There was always pieces of trucks stacked around, so.
Save the good parts.
But the shop's relatively new.
Yeah, it's only, what, 20 years old?
Only 20 years old, but compared to some parts of the property.
My recycled shop.
Okay, well, yep, that's what, one of the many things he's up to. As you can see, we have door trim here. He's building a door, and no joke, everything else in the world, these guys are just wrapping up their farming season, and
Onwards and upwards.
and you've been dealing with your own health issues and stuff, right, as you get older, so.
Well, that's why I decided it was time to build a hot rod.
Yeah. Yep. But, I mean, you and the truck are way farther along than I saw you last time, so good job, good job.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish up the suspension so I can get on to the fun part of putting the engine and tranny in and stuff.
God, everything brand new. Everything. Well, or if not brand new, then the original parts, but just, when I was here, it was just this and then bare metal. And then now it's got so many more little parts, but still so simple. And it's going to have a 283 in it.
283 and 4-speed.
So that's what I had in my Malibu, my 66 Malibu, a muscle machine. It's like a small V8. Is it a small block, but it's a V8? Yeah.
And that's actually a 66 block there.
Oh, so I had almost that exact block. You didn't get that out of the wreck, did you?
No.
He's been hiding it on me all these years.
No, there wasn't much left of that 66 once you wrapped it around 3 Oak Street.
Okay.
The only thing I got out of it was the radio.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, cool. Man. Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
All the dust from the fires and stuff coated it pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It doesn't matter, it's a truck. Well, see, in those original, they've never touched the overloads on that thing.
This is an original
up.
No, that piece of rubber?
Yeah, the ones in the back too are original and never been touched.
That's no cracking in it or anything either, though.
Part of the reason I saved this truck when I got it is because it just really had no miles on it. It had just sat for.
That might be made out of rubber from some rubber tree somewhere. I'm serious,
You can
know?
guarantee it's actual rubber.
Whoa. Okay, so let that speak for the whole thing, and the only thing that's been done to it is for the first time in its life after being a working truck, and pretty much as far as we know, one single spot. It served its life. This is one of the turkey farm ones, or?
Yeah, and it was real low mileage, you could tell by looking at it, but it got away from them. The turkey farm was on a real steep slope, and it obviously rolled down the slope and hit so hard that it tore both axles loose, shifted the frame a half an inch, and totally warped the cab and stuff, and they just set it there. And then 60 years later, I came along and tore it all down to the frame, straightened the frame, redid all the axles, springs, bushings, bearings, everything on it. So it'd be a brand new 48 1-ton with low mileage.
With the 283 in it.
Yeah, the 216 was just a boat anchor. The mice had filled all the cylinders with acorns and stuff, so it wouldn't move anymore.
And the 4-speed.
Yeah. Well, and it had the square tooth crash box in it, and I'm putting the synchro 4-speed in it.
He had to make it like that, you see. It was necessity.
Yeah, well, normally I put them all back the way they were, but
yeah.
This one was missing an engine and the transmission was no good. The rear end's okay, though. I went through that and put new bushings and everything in it. And the front axle wasn't bent, so all I had to do was take all the springs and everything apart and redo it all. But can't save the body, it's just way too warped. Fortunately, I have a spare. So from underneath it'll look brand new and shiny, but from the outside it'll look like it's been sitting in a field for 60 years. Perfect.
Perfect. I was trying to figure out what the electrical cord was, but I see it's a hanger to hold the drive shaft straight.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had to roll it in and out of the shop a couple of times when Craig and the boys come to play. It's where the other band sets up the stuff. See, you just never know. That one spindle that looks darker, the spindle that was on here was bent, so that spindle's been hanging on a nail up there for 30 years. I finally found a use for it.
This one?
Yeah. That's just age from sitting on the nail in the shop.
And this is the one that was on here?
Well, yeah.
Really?
That's the side that didn't get bent, so.
But, wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's their machine marks and just wow.
It was actually in great shape. It just sat for 60 years. It just needed to be taken apart and put back together and fix what they wrecked. Then 2 frame rails were just shifted a half an inch, so I just used chains and come-alongs and shifted it back and reset the rivets.
How many trucks do you think that you've rebuilt in your life? I've seen you do. Oh, no exaggeration. I think I could count, 10, 11, 12 since Toad that I've seen get fixed up and moved out. And now I'm just starting at Toad.
Probably 30 years.
And then before I remember, there was the Black International and Square ones. I've seen so many trucks come through, but...
Yeah, I used to love the Internationals because nobody wanted them.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't see them anymore out here on the West Coast.
Right. No, you've been doing just the Chevys for a while now.
Yeah.
So there was the International era, too. And other vehicles. My Malibu was reaffirmed or whatever before I started driving it. You know, it wasn't hot rodded. It was just put back together nice for me. I never had to do anything until I drove it into the tree.
Yeah, I got that one for $100 because I thought the engine was blown up and all it was a head gasket.
Well, thank you for joining us, and yeah.
We'll take you for a ride in another 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see you hopefully sooner than later this time. And this is what the old man's been up to. So, stay tuned for the updates. We'll see you somewhere else.